affective disorder is a variant of mood disorders, the experience of significant changes in mood and behavior, symptoms of depression, a full episode of depression that start with the change of seasons. And it typically starts in early winter or late fall with improvement or remission in the spring and summer. And although some of the research findings are mixed, scientific research generally supports this seasonal form of depression in adults, and growing research also points to the existence in children and adolescents as well. This can include changes in mood and behavior that interfere with functioning at home and at school, including feeling sad or low most of the day, losing joy or interest in activities that were previously enjoyed. Some people talk about this as feeling like they're going through the motions, feeling hopeless or worthless, feelings of guilt, and on the more severe end of the spectrum, even thoughts of death or suicide. We also see changes in behavior, including lower energy or fatigue, problems with sleep. For winter forms of seasonal affective disorder, we tend to see oversleeping, changes in appetite, often again with this winter pattern. Overeating and weight gain are more common. And then we also see some withdrawing from friends and family. I think recognizing the early signs of seasonal affective disorder is important, and knowing that there are many ways to help with or treat the symptoms. I think first and foremost, it's always really helpful to come back to our understanding of the science behind this. There are real changes that are happening in the body that are caused by the changes in light and the onset of winter that can affect our mood and our sleep, rather than just being lazy or hibernating in the winter. So recognizing that this is real, that this is affecting our biology, can really motivate you to do some steps to combat it. And so there are ways that we can counteract the toll that these changes are taking on our body. One thing that we can do is bright light therapy. That's long been a part of the treatments available for seasonal affective disorder. And the goal here is to expose you to bright light every day to make up for the reduction of light that we see in winter. And so bright light boxes are available commercially. These tend to be 20 times brighter than ordinary indoor light. And you would expose yourself to this for 30 to 45 minutes a day, every day around the same time, and make a routine around it. And this can reverse, or at least we believe that this can reverse or repair some of the brain changes that are affected by the reduction of daylight that happens with the start of winter. These are things like changes to our internal biological clock and regulation of chemicals in the brain that play a really key role in our mood and our sleep-wake cycles. Chemicals that you may have heard of, like serotonin, dopamine, and excessive melatonin production. Something else that we can do is psychotherapy, particularly a type of therapy called cognitive behavioral therapy. That's a type of therapy that can help children, adolescents, and adults learn to cope with the negative thoughts related to the winter season, and also increasing positive indoor and outdoor activities. And because seasonal affective disorder tends to recur each year, doing psychotherapy like this would be a really important recommendation to kind of combat some of the stressors that coincide with this time of year. We also can be doing things to affect our lifestyle, things that we can start now. Being mindful of your habits as the days grow shorter and get colder, and being really intentional and making a point about keeping the same type of routine that you would follow if the days were longer and warmer. So in your routine, including time outdoors, being exposed to natural light, keeping up with social activities, making a point to exercise and engage in healthy eating habits, really letting wellness dictate your routine and not the weather. I think we have a tendency to really want to hibernate and stay inside because it's cold, but we really want to balance that with being really mindful of our activities. A bright light box is a small device. It can sit on your desk, it can sit on your bathroom counter, and it has bright light that's like 20 times brighter than ordinary indoor light. And the point is that you would just want to sit and be around it and expose yourself to it, but it's something small that you can keep right next to you. A lot of times people will have it right on their bedside and have it on for the first 30 minutes that they're awake. And research generally supports that these can be effective at kind of combating some of those mood and sleep changes that we see with seasonal depression. There may be some side effects for individuals with eye disease or sensitivity, so you may want to be careful about that. And there's not a ton of great research about the effectiveness with kids, but there is a lot of research to support the use with adults. The estimates are that seasonal affective disorder affects about 3 to 4% of children and adolescents, but we really need more research here to understand how early this can start. So these are probably actually underestimates, just given that there hasn't been a ton that's been studied in kids. And it's thought that it's a lot of the same kind of biological and environmental changes that would affect adults, but also there's a lot of psychological and social stressors that coincide with winter. This is when the novelty of the school year has worn off, academic demands and tasks are increasing, and less time is being spent outdoors and outdoor activities. And all of that can really kind of take a toll on kids' well-being. Qualify for this seasonal affective disorder with the winter pattern, what we would see is that the symptoms kind of start in late fall and early winter, and you would start coming out of it by early spring into summer. You'd see kind of a full remission of the symptoms in spring and summer. So it really does kind of follow that winter pattern. I think the biggest tip I would recommend is get a really good coat and take our cue from cultures that really embrace the onset of winter and the colder weather to make sure that we're staying outside, getting exposed to light, and still doing those outdoor activities, even though the cold is making us want to stay inside.